What's going on, YouTube? Back at you with another quick take. I got Mr. No Days Off here with me.
The Prince of Fresh Air. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Hell
He's
yeah.
always on there, so we always collab together. It's always a good time.
Hell yeah. So, all right, let's get into this topic, man. So, Dr. Dre's wife wants $2 million a month in spousal support. All right, so I'm reading the TMZ article here. It says Dr. Dre's wife is seeking a steady flow of serious cash from the music mogul as they head toward divorce. But our sources say she's not going to get it without a fight. According to the documents, Nicole wants $1,936,399 monthly in temporary spousal support. She wants an additional $5 million in lawyer fees, even though she just filed for divorce 2 fucking months ago. What's your take on that before I go off, bro?
Oh man, the classic Hollywood. Basically, so here's the thing. Like, if you think about how much she's asking for a month, that equates to almost 13 million, probably 14 million a year. And like, I understand, they've been together for a long time, but that's pretty unreasonable to expect somebody to pay you almost $2 million a month as spouse support. And like, I was watching a DJ Vlad video with Lord Jamar, and they was actually talking about that. Jamar. Oh, he's amazing. And he talked to, and I was actually watching yesterday, and he was saying that a lot of people who get married to celebrities and stuff, they get acquainted to a lifestyle, and then when they realize that lifestyle is not going to be, they're not going to be able to attain that lifestyle by themselves, they seek their partner to keep paying them to live that lifestyle. Yeah, so it all makes sense. It all makes sense. It's a money grab. And, I know people are going to say, yeah, well, she helped and support him and stuff like that.
What?
But a month, I mean,
what?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a little unreasonable. It's ridiculous.
Well, yeah, to me, that to say it's unreasonable is a freaking understatement, bro. All right. Now, here's my thing. She signed a prenuptial agreement. And from what I understand, a prenuptial agreement is basically certain terms are set in place, for both parties involved in the event of a divorce. Am I right or am I wrong?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Right. Now, I've seen that they got married in 1996. Now, I'm not familiar with NWA or anything like that. In fact, I never seen Straight Outta Compton. Don't judge me, whatever. Freaking, they got married in 1996. Do you know when, like, Dr. Dre was out? So that means he was the man back in the late 80s, early 90s.
Exactly, yep.
Okay, so she wasn't there in the beginning. Now, I'm talking about, like, when he didn't have money, when he wasn't famous, he wasn't none of that. What makes her entitled to almost $2 fucking million a month? If you weren't there when he wasn't famous. I don't know if you can answer that question.
I completely agree with you. That's a fair point.
Yeah.
This is not like the Jeff Bezos thing where his wife was with him when he was getting Amazon off the floor.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she was there with him. Obviously Bill Gates haven't got divorced, but his wife was working for him before Microsoft even blew up.
Right.
But like, so stuff like that, when someone's there at the beginning, I can understand, like, you know what, you help me get to where I'm at.
Well, bam, first of all, if you've been with me since the beginning, you ain't going nowhere. All right? Because it's like, all right, now take us, for instance, trenches. Okay, we in the trenches in terms of the come up. You know what I'm saying? Me, first of all, since, like, I was already feeling like this anyway. I will never, ever, 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 ever in life get married. Okay? Because right now, I'm in the trenches. Okay, don't have a lot of money. Nobody knows who the fuck I am. I'm coming up. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing what I can, trying to stay active. I don't have support. You know what I'm saying? I make something of myself. I get rich. I have a very short list of people that, I'd say that I have to help. And really, it's just my mom and my older sister. And I'm fine with that. Ain't no girls around.
Hold on. What about me? Huh? What about me? Hold on.
I'm talking about. You don't even gotta ask that, bro. You don't even gotta ask. You don't even gotta ask that, man. Check out the podcast so you know the type of guy that I am. You know what I'm saying? Check that out. But anyway, ain't no girls around. That's all I'm saying. So if I make it out the trenches by myself and we get, first of all, I ain't marrying you, but let's say, what makes you think you're entitled to any type of percentage of what I have if you weren't there when I was building it from the ground up? Or you walked out on me when I was on the come up.
Right.
What? Like, if I was Dr. Dre, I wouldn't even need a lawyer. I represent myself in court. Like, where was she? Where was she when I was broke? When nobody knew who I was? When I would go shopping, nobody cared. None of that.
Right. Now, I understand from like your perspective. I will also say though, because they were married for 25 years, she's probably entitled to something. You know what I'm saying? A couple million,
not $2 million,
but not $2 million a month.
Not $2 million a month.
That's insane. And
no,
it's
money
to the
grab.
point. And someone was saying like, if you get married and you don't feel comfortable with your husband or your wife, as a celebrity, don't marry him. What's the point of a prenup? But I also will say to that, like, you have to protect your own, because you see time and time again celebrities getting divorced and their wife leaving them stranded. You know what I'm saying? They're taking all their money. And it's unfortunate, but a lot of times the courts favor the women. So
I wouldn't be worried about none of that, because I tell the judge straight up, she wasn't there. She wasn't with me shooting in the gym. That's a fact. That is a fact. No woman could look at me straight in the eye. Especially like if you weren't here, I'm like, you have no value for me. You have absolutely no value for me if you weren't with me from the beginning. So if I make it, why do we need to get married? I mean, we could be in a relationship, but we don't need to be married. For what?
Right.
For what? What? How does that add to my life in any way? Because it's like, let's say Tyler Perry, for instance. Everybody who's on the come up had like a moment where they're in the trenches. He was sleeping in his car writing plays for a long time, and nobody knew who he was. I don't know if his wife now was the same woman that he was with before, but let's say if they went their separate ways, she shouldn't get shit from him. She'd be lucky to get anything. Now, granted, if let's say you were with me, like Conor McGregor's girlfriend, she deserves everything, because she was with him when like he didn't have a job, and then like he was right. Like if I'm getting the narrative right, like he wasn't working, and then he was he was straight up fighter, and then she supported him. Women like that, first of all, you're not going anywhere if we going through it. And then even if you do, you know what? I'll remember that. Just the fact that you were there with me, you supported me when nobody wanted me, nobody cared, all of that. But even if let's say you came in like a couple of years before that and I was already getting, no marriage for me, bro. I wish I had Dr. Dre's number. I was like, don't give that woman shit.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure he probably feels obligated to pay a little bit, because 25 years is a long time. So,
yeah, but she's just trying to keep up with she's trying to keep up with the Kardashians with $2 million a month.
Yeah, that's insane. Their kids are grown. It's not like he's paying child support. Like, I understand, like, if it was child support, based off his income, that probably be reasonable. But this is just for how to maintain a lifestyle.
Spousal support.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and this is what like Lord Jamal was saying. Like, a lot of these women get accustomed to their man paying for everything.
Yeah, to that lifestyle.
Living the stop, and they get accustomed to it. So when it's time for them to go get a job, they don't want to. They don't. They rather look to their husband and pay up that money. So it's not surprising. I've seen time and time again. Spouses asking for outrageous amount of money.
Right.
And I mean it, and I hope. Dr. Dre could pull this one off, but at the same time, the courts are usually favoring the women, so
they're gonna. If you don't state your case properly, then like if you're not saying what I'm saying, because I'm like, no, she wasn't here when she didn't invest any money into my company, nothing. She put nothing in, so how are you gonna try to get a return on an investment that you never invested in? You see what I'm saying? Like, you never did anything. You have no stock. You don't have nothing. So how are you going to pull out? You know what I'm saying? You have no equity here. I tell the judge that straight up. Get married for what? 50 Cent said that. And 50 Cent, is an asshole, but I'll quote him where he was like, you look at a lot of people who, made something of themselves and everything like that. And he said their biggest losses were when they invested in relationships, when they invested in people. That's a fact.
Right.
So you look at somebody like him, I don't blame him for not being married. And freaking 50 Cent is like 40-something now. He's not in his 30s. I don't blame. I honestly, and I'm, you know what I mean. I'm still in my 20s. I will never get married. Like, and I will go back to this video just to remind myself of that. If you weren't,
Yeah.
just because I just don't see it. Like, I really just don't see it. Like, we have kids, we're not getting married. We're not going to get married. For what? Like, you weren't there when I needed you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna front. It's like I meet the girl in my dreams tomorrow. I'd be like, where were you? You know, where you been? Where you been?
Right.
Where you been? No,
right.
I can't. I cannot. I cannot. And I'm pretty sure Dr. Dre, you know, he's way older than we are, has had way more experiences than us. So I feel like, you know, me, I wouldn't even have to tell him that. I mean, I just hope that, you know, she gets, you know, like $250,000 or something, 100,000, and just call it at that. You can have a certain lifestyle off of $250,000 a month. That's a lot of money.
Man, you look, $2 million a month, especially when you're not the one who built the business, is outrageous. It's absolutely insane that, you know, she's asking for that. But it makes sense. You know why? Because people, you know, they get greedy. You know, you get so used to, you know, money. Everybody wanted you, you know, using the spotlight with him, and you know, he was making all this money. You got to live this life, and now that is over, you know, you want to maintain that lifestyle, but you don't want to do it on your own. You want him to pay for it. And like, that's the thing, man. Like, people get greedy when they put their hand in the cookie jar. It's like, you know, if she asks for,
if you ever loved me in the first place, then you wouldn't want to leave me anyway. Like, why would you want? That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, I couldn't understand that you were with me from, you know, I guess relatively the beginning, and especially we've been married for 25 freaking years, and then all of a sudden we have this one problem that we can't work out. But I'm pretty sure they've had other issues, maybe worse issues in 25 years. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what's going on now that we couldn't have, that we didn't fix 25 years? So now, now you want to go, and then you want to take, you know, $2 million from me? Get out of here. No, it's either you staying or you're not getting anything.
Right.
This is my opinion.
And then this is a prime example of why he signed the prenup, because they have a prenup, and you're still seeing her trying to get demands out of him that, you know, when they signed the prenup, lawfully she has to abide by what he put. So, like, she can go to the courts and run around and demand all this stuff. But when she signed her name on that down the line, whatever they agreed to, I'm not sure what their finance and stuff is or what the agreement was. But whatever he put it in writing and she signed, that's what she's going to get. And, you know, she should take up lessons. And it's sad, but Lord Jamar was saying this, like, some people get married to people, famous people, for the money. Because you'll see time and time again, people get married 3, 4, 5 years, and next thing you know, they're getting divorced. The girl's walking away with half his net worth.
Yeah.
And here's my thing about this whole thing. The thing that bothers me is, like, it's this double standard with this whole, you know, divorce thing. You know, when women are getting divorced with men, they be like, "Go get your money, sis." You know, go get your half or whatever, right? But you remember when Mary J. Blige divorced her husband? No. They people dogged him online, like, oh, how's he coming after her money? He a scumbag, he a loser, he can't get his own. How long ago was that? This was this past decade. It was like 2013, somewhere around there. It was recent. Okay. Yeah. But, like, I remember people dogged him and calling him all types of names and a loser and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, so you're gonna, you know, come at him for that, but half of these other people, you know, coming out, marriages has way more money than sometimes a dude have. Like, that's the part that bothers me the most, is like this whole double standard with this whole divorce thing. And it's unfortunate, but, you know, people who get greedy, you know,
don't get married. Just don't get married, because, like I said, me, the girl shows up right now, I'm still in the trenches, okay? You know, heartbroken by myself, not a lot of money on the come up, trying to stay active, doing what I can. You know what I'm saying? She show up right now, all right, cool. You know, maybe we could talk about that if you stay down. But if that just doesn't happen, and then I continue, you know, to grow, become successful, get smarter, more intelligent, all that stuff, I don't need you, because I made it out the trenches without you. So don't ask me for money. Just go. You don't want to be with me, just go. But don't ask me for money that you didn't help me make. That's a fact. Right. That is a fact. Period. And then 100%. In 1996, this is after Doggy Style, because you got to realize Dr. Dre was already Dr. Dre. Then you had Snoop Dogg, which made Dr. Dre that much more bigger So by 1990, and mind you, Tupac was still around. So by 1996, Dr. Dre was Dr. Dre. So he didn't need you at that time. She could have been anybody.
Right.
Nicole Young, who's that? Come on, man. I didn't even know who she was until, this was news.
Yeah, and it's.
And if Stedman
I've read about it.
If Oprah left Stedman and he asked for spousal support, people would probably talk shit about him too.
He probably,
because there's this assumption that men shouldn't need money from women, but it's the other way around.
Yeah, like it's the same thing with Adele. Her and her husband got divorced like 3-4 years ago, and not to get off topic, but they got divorced, and they try to keep all that stuff out the papers and stuff. But he asked for half because he was there. I don't think he was there at the beginning, but he was there when she lost all that weight, and he supported her throughout her career and stuff like that. And like people dogged him and stuff for that. And it's like, oh, why are you taking her money? Go get a job. And it's like, okay, well, keep that same energy when Dr. Dre's wife wants to ask for all this outrageous amount of money, and then I'm not saying she didn't contribute in some shape or form, because 25 years is a while, but $2 million a month contribute? I don't think so.
Yeah, right. And then see, all right, so then I go a step further in the article. So it says sources close to the couple tell TMZ nothing has really changed for the two since Nicole filed for divorce. She still lives in their Malibu house and has access to all the cars, personal shelves, and other luxuries. Our sources say Dre is going to push back, arguing Nicole doesn't need anywhere close to that amount since her lifestyle hasn't changed. Nicole, on the other hand, now this is how stupid this sounds. Get ready. Nicole, on the other hand, will argue she doesn't want to depend on Dre paying all the bills, thus the need for temporary support. Okay, says Nicole, on the other hand, will argue she doesn't want to depend on Dre. Dude, the money is coming from him. So what are you talking about? You don't want to depend on him. Yep. You might as well just stay. Fuck you getting a divorce for? Do you want my money? Do you still living in my house? Which, again, you don't have a career. I don't know what she does. Pardon me, you know what I'm saying? If you're listening to this and then she's a businesswoman or something like that, then all right, maybe. But then if she wouldn't need his money in the first place. You think Rihanna would be doing something like that? No. Rihanna got her own money. She was she was dating a freaking billionaire like last year. They broke up. She ain't asking him for no money.
Have you ever noticed there's a trend with this stuff, especially with celebrity divorces? The ones that always ask for the most are the ones that don't have anything going for them. Yeah, like Jeff Bezos' wife. Obviously she deserved what she got, but she didn't ask for.
She got
75%.
Yeah, she got 75.
No, she got about.
She got a lot. I remember she got a lot.
35 billion.
Woo!
And she earned. She had stakes, but she was there at the beginning. Plus, she didn't demand half or 75% of what he had. She just said, I've been here since the beginning. Can you, make sure I'm taken care of? And that's fair. That's practically reasonable, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to how much he's worth now.
Right.
Plus, she was there when he was still.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you treated me like I was a shit and I was that nigga to you, when I had nothing, and then you stayed, no matter what we went through, and then you stayed down for me, hell yeah, I'm gonna take care of you. You know what I'm saying? Because I think we kind of had conversations like this before where if I had that one girl that was with me forever, and then I know I'd never just not be attracted to her, I don't think I would really get caught up most of the guys would. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't tarnish something real for a whole bunch of women that I know for a fact wouldn't be there if I didn't have anything, but she was. I'm not like that. That happened to Wolf of Wall Street. Remember his wife, the one with the black hair that he was with, he left her to be with Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
He's an idiot, but that's what I'm saying. You don't do things like that. So that's why what happened to him at the end of the movie happened to him. You don't do that. That's why it's if you could find one, before you become successful, find one now. But if I don't find one, no marriage for me.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. People, you think you find the true love, as your career, is taking off and everything's going well.
Oh.
And then you see true colors when you get divorced. They want all your stuff. And it's I remember I was watching a YouTube video. It's a channel. They do relationship stuff. And it's pretty cool. But they was talking about that. And one of the girls was saying that no matter how long a woman has been married to a man, she deserves half or whatever he's got.
Yeah, right. No.
Yeah, I mean
only if you were there in the trenches, in the trenches. If you wasn't there in the trenches, supporting me, being there for me when I need you, I'm not giving you a motherfucking thing.
it's like
Here's why
it's
she's acting
unfortunate.
up though, because it says that basically it says Nicole filed docs in early August claiming she was forced to sign the prenup back in '96. She says 2 years into the marriage, he told her he was ashamed he made her sign the prenup and tore it up in front of her. So, I mean, he's saying that he never did that, but I mean, hey.
Hey, look, like they say in court, that's not substantial evidence right there. You know, like they always say in business, is word of mouth means nothing. Once you put your pen to paper, that's when everything is legal. So even if he did say that, that's not legally, that's not you can't use that. Yeah, you can't use that in court.
Yeah.
So she could say, 2 years ago he was like, I want to take your name off the thing, but clearly your name is still on there. So either he didn't say that, or maybe he had a moment of weakness and said that, but he still didn't change his mind.
He probably, like I said, he probably did. Relationships would do that to you, where you cupcaking, you playing at the house and stuff. She's still complaining about the prenup. That's your girl, that's your wife. You know what I'm saying. You waking up together. He probably was like, baby, I hear, shh, and then ripped it up. You know what I'm saying? He probably got caught up in the moment. I believe it. But
I believe it.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's like, just don't.
But look what's going on now. Like, she said the prenup is still in, but regardless, she's still asking for way more than the prenup.
Whatever the prenup said, yeah.
And it sucks, man. But it goes
because things increased since 1996. That's why. Because things increased. Because he wasn't a CEO of Beats. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have all them companies back then. He was just like a rapper producer back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So things increase. So she's like, that prenup doesn't reflect our lifestyle right now, or where, we're at in life right now. So you know what? Let me just, try to push back. And like I said, like you say, I mean, I'm not, as a matter of fact, no, I take that back. I'm not going to say I get it. Or on one end, I get it. But at the end of the day, nah. To all the guys out there, don't get married.
Look,
if she wasn't there with you in the beginning, don't get married.
But even if that was the case, money went up and stuff like that. When you sign a contract, it's like this.
That's it.
Imagine signing, a 3-picture deal to star in a Marvel's movie, right? And you signed a contract for, let's say, $1 million. Even if that movie does way more successful than it is, you already signed the contract. It's all garbage. It's just a way for her to get money. And it's sad to see that. Like, you thought this was going to be the woman that she was going to spend the rest of your life with.
No, that's
and then
fallacy.
Next thing you know, she's trying to get everything that you got. So,
and then days, weeks, maybe a month later, already be running around with some other guy. Oh, but I was going to spend the rest of my life with her. Man, that's the biggest fallacy. That's a fairy tale. Doesn't exist in real life. I'm sorry. Like I said, and I'm broke and I'm saying that. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. You would never see me get married, period. I don't give a fuck. We could have kids together, all that shit. It's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna be able to see it. It's just not gonna work. No.
It's unfortunate, man. This is not for people listening. It's not for. I'm not trying to dog women or anything like this. But when you see a lot of these divorce cases, usually it is the women who trying to get.
Man, we ain't dogging women. We're just stating facts. You know what I'm saying? We can only talk about what happened. We're not making this stuff up. We're getting this from news and articles and all of that. So anybody listening, we're not dogging women. But my final thoughts on it, bro, is just my reaction and final thoughts and opinion is I will not be getting married. I have no interest in getting married unless some girl pops up in the trenches with me right now and then stays down, cool. But I'm never going to invest in the fallacy of, this is forever and, she's going to be with me and we're going to be married and, live happily ever after. And the next thing you know, we're going to have a divorce. She want to take my money and then go and be with some white guy, a couple of weeks later, a couple of months later. Get the fuck out of here.
Right. Here's my thing.
No. And she's not even black.
No. And, that's probably something that might influence the judge's decision.
You see? Yeah. Like I said, that's Dr. Dre's fuck up.
But my final thing is this. Pick your partners wisely because you never know.
Do that these days.
Yeah, you never know. You might think this girl is the one for you, and then 3 years down the line, you get divorced, she got half of what you got, and then
she go and just be with the next guy and then forget that y'all even existed. Get out of here.
Exactly.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
And you really want and people really even buy into that in 2020.
No, it's sad to say, but a lot of people out here looking for a quick come up. You might think they love you for who you are, but
no, they don't.
A couple years down the line, you getting a little squabble, you get divorced, and now she's off to the hills in California while you live in.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, she gonna be, and it's like I said to you before, and I'll close off with this. It's like I said to you before, where somebody can't really tell you who they are. Time is gonna tell you, who that person is. You know what I'm saying? So you meet some girls like, yeah, I really like you, and I want to be with you, right? Okay, so you say, that's to be seen, and then time will eventually, reveal that. But somebody can't really tell that to you because again, some girl break up with your ass, y'all get a divorce and shit like that. She'll be running around with a motherfucker named Cole and shit. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be able to see it. A girl show up in the trenches with me right now. She stay down, great. I'll give you the world if you ask for it. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't going nowhere. We're gonna work the motherfucker out. Especially we married for fucking 25 years. What the fuck we getting divorced for? Let's just stay together. But any final thoughts,
the thing,
bro?
yeah. And that's the thing, like 25 years and y'all calling it quits now. I don't know their relationship, but that's basically, you never know, man. Like people's true colors will reveal itself, and it's unfortunate, but when you become a celebrity, you have to watch it back, even for the marriage that you're, trying to seek. You have to watch it back.
You gotta watch it back, man. You gotta watch it back, even when you're not a celebrity. But it is what it is. So anyway, I hope you made it to the end of this video. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, and check out some of our other gaming content on the channel. Our podcast, Percy's podcast on Spotify, The Prince of Fresh Air. Any last words, bro?
Basically, if anybody want to buy some feet pics, I got an only. No,
hey, do your thing, man. Anyway, I will see y'all on the next one. Peace. Good luck.